With Redfall's launch behind us, I wanted to put together a starter guide to help those interested in the game hit the ground running, including where to find some guaranteed legendary weapons to even the fight against the vampires. But before that, I'd like to thank Bethesda for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get things kicked off with heroes. So when you first begin Redfall, you're going to choose between 4 heroes. Jacob, the former military sniper who has a pet raven, can summon a ghost rifle, and can turn invisible. You have Layla, the telekinetic student who can create things with her mind, including a Mere Force-like umbrella. You have Devender, the cryptid hunter who cobbles together gadgets built to shock and petrify enemies. And you have Remy, the medic who knows her way around C4 explosives, robots, and healing auras. Now, once you pick your hero, you will choose a difficulty ranging from easy to hard. Then, once you beat the campaign, you can head back and unlock the extra hard difficulty if you would like. Now, after you choose your character and you choose your difficulty, you're thrust into the hostile world of Redfall. Now, the map size of Redfall is pretty large and gives players lots of nooks and crannies to explore. The first map is split into different zones that all have fast travel points. That way, you can move around the map a little bit easier. You want to make sure to unlock these to save yourself lots of walking. Now, at a certain point in the campaign, you will also unlock another map to explore as well. So what you see here isn't what you were stuck with the entire time. But please be aware, once you move into the second map, you are not able to go back to the first map at all. It is dead and gone. If you want to revisit it, you have to create a new character and start a new game. And each of these zones has their own safe house to discover and unlock. Now, I highly recommend finding and unlocking these as quickly as possible. They provide new respawn points, vendors, places to refill your ammunition, refill your med kits. These are just great places to have unlocked and available whenever you need them. Now, once you discover a safe house, you will need to complete side missions in order to, quote, take back the neighborhood. And as you complete those side missions, new vendors will appear in the safe house and offer things to purchase. Once you complete all of the side missions, you need to take on the underboss of that zone, which is an elite vampire that has some special affixes. Now, once defeated, they will drop their skull and usually some pretty decent loot. Now, these skulls are very important. They're used to challenge the vampire gods or unlock hidden treasure within the world of Redfall. So it's important to complete these safe houses to collect as many skulls as you can. Now, throughout the world, there are tons and tons of items to collect. I'm talking toilet paper to bleach, wrenches, and everything in between. Now, when you collect these things, you're going to earn currency, which can be used to purchase weapons, ammo, lockpicks, and more. Now, speaking of lockpicks, you want to make sure to load up on these. Have as many as you possibly can at any point in time, which is the maximum of 3. You want to have 3 lockpicks and 3 rewire kits, because these are going to be needed to unlock loot containers that have high-end loot, legendary loot. We'll talk about this in a little bit, but not having these is going to be very detrimental to your progress and the ability to find really cool things. So again, make sure you purchase these whenever you possibly can. You can do that at the firehouse, at the lost and found section, or you can discover them out in the world, usually within toolboxes. Okay, so speaking of the world, let's talk about what we're actually going to be doing outside. We're going to be exterminating vampires, and we're going to be building up our character. So early on, the game throws regular vampires at you, and truthfully, these are pretty powerful at the beginning. They're dangerous to take on, they're fast, they deal large amounts of damage, they can take a beating. But as you level up, as you upgrade your arsenal, as you unlock more skills, these base level vampires quickly become a pushover and they're not really a threat anymore. That's when special vampires, things like the Shroud, who can turn invisible, the Siphon, who will leech your health, and the Rook, which is a bruiser, are going to appear in an effort to kind of keep things challenging. So let's move into what you can do, what type of damage you can inflict to these vampires. So the weapons and combat in Redfall revolves around mixing skills with gun combat with a little bit of melee mixed in when absolutely necessary. Then you have skills. These are cooldown based abilities that are usually pretty powerful, especially on a character like Devender. With them, you're able to quickly deal with groups of vampires or humans and get out of a sticky situation. As you level up, you're going to unlock more skills, including an ultimate skill that'll require spirit energy to use. This is energy that's dropped from enemies when you slay them, so be sure to use it when you really need it, otherwise you'll need to go kill a bunch of enemies in order to refill that meter. Now, you're also going to gain a skill point whenever you level up, which can be used to unlock nodes on the skill tree for each hero. Now, these skill trees will enhance one of the skills you have access to, or can be used on miscellaneous nodes, things like increasing your ammo capacity, health regeneration, or getting more currency from scrapping gear. Now, once you reach level 10, you can spend currency to refund your skill points and try out different builds. Let's talk about the loot in Redfall really quick, because you know this is a loot-based channel. So the loot in Redfall follows the normal array of rarities. You have common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. Now, of course, they rename them to some different wording, but that is still the spectrum that they follow. As you climb the rarities, the weapons will come with more affixes, but those affixes will also have more potent effects. Now, besides guns, you can also equip remnants, which serve sort of like trinkets. These grant really cool passive effects, protections, they increase your health, a whole lot of other stuff. Now, this is something you really want to make sure you're upgrading in order to survive stronger vampire attacks, including those special vampires we talked about earlier. So the big question is, what are some cool places to farm for loot? Now, one of the best places are vampire nests. These are pockets of reality that have high concentrations of vampires protecting a giant heart. Once inside, these do get pretty linear. You just need to make your way to the heart, clear out any vampires that are guarding it, and then destroy it. And once destroyed, the nest will begin to collapse, and you have 60 seconds to escape. Now, during this time, you can also break into some side rooms and collect loot before exiting. Now, the idea here is that you want to balance collecting as much loot as you possibly can and still being able to escape, because if you run out of time, you don't lose any items, but you do lose a large experience bonus that comes with escaping in time. So make sure to always get that escape, that way you can get the experience, that way you can level up and get more skill points. So that's a high overview of how the game actually works and what you're going to be doing within the game. Next, I want to talk about some places to get some guaranteed legendary weapons. That way you can nuke anything that gets in your way. So the first one is very close to the beginning of the game. You can actually access it right after the tutorial. This is at a lobster building near the firehouse. So spawning at the firehouse, what you want to do is you want to exit, and then you want to head north to this lobster building. You want to break a window, turn off the alarm, and then lockpick this door and then this safe for a guaranteed legendary. Now, this has been patched from my original video and now only gives 1 to 3 legendaries before it stays unlocked, but it's still a really good place to go to get some awesome weapons early on. However, you can also save this. This will scale to whatever level you are. So if you want to come back when you're level 20, then you can and come back and get level 20 legendaries. The next one is at Walker Sporting Goods. You want to head to Walker's, you want to break the glass in the front, you want to head to the gun rack behind the counter and loot the shotgun there. If you don't like the one that's there, reload the game and then check it again. Be careful though, because you can only take this like once or twice before it's gone forever. So make sure it's a shotgun that you're really interested in. Next, we need to open a large safe in the pawn shop located here. Once inside, head behind the counter and use a rewire kit to unlock it. The last spot is going to be to the far west side of the map near the Wampy Work Siding fast travel location. What you need to do is travel to that location or run there if you don't have that location unlocked, and you want to look for this market building here. Once you get here, you want to enter the market from the open side entrance and look for a red crate, and then use a lockpick to access it and then open it up for a legendary. So everyone, I hope this video was helpful to give new players an idea of what they can expect when it comes to Redfall. If you're interested in trying out the game, please check out the links in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.